Settle in. Make yourself really comfortable. And we'll start with a little bit of gentle movement and just experiment with your neck. Really, really easy movements. Maybe it's side to side, one ear to one shoulder and one ear to the other shoulder. Or maybe it's side to side with a twist, looking over one shoulder and looking over the other shoulder. Or maybe it's a combination of both. You can do half circles or full circles, just seeing how does the neck feel today. And as always, if it's crunchy or you hear some noise or some, creaks, that's okay as long as it's not accompanied by pain. If there's pain, as always, stop what you're doing, reassess. Maybe you come back in a little more gently or in a little bit different way, or maybe you say, you know what, this movement is not good for me today. I'm gonna mindfully do something else. Maybe come into the shoulders a little bit. You can do one at a time or both together. You can do circles, or you can come forward and back, bringing the shoulder blades far apart and then close together. Maybe you come up and down, shrugging towards your ears, intentionally increasing that little bit of tension. And then exhale and let it all go and feel how it feels to have those shoulders feel really heavy. Maybe as if you have two suitcases and they're pulling away from the ears and you're elongating the neck. And if that felt good, maybe you do it again, shrugging the shoulders up, 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 increasing the tension, and then letting it all go. Maybe you come into the rest of the arms and put some movement into the wrists, the hands. You can pretend you're holding a ball of energy and move it around, or you can close and open the fingers. And again, just do what feels good, do what feels organic, what feels natural to you. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing. But again, if you are someone who types or drives or carries things, or you get stiff in the joints, just putting some mindful movement. We say motion is lotion. The more we move, the easier it is to move. But that doesn't mean you have to be moving at a fast pace, and it doesn't mean you have to be a high intensity. Just little movement snacks, little movement breaks, little bitty things spaced throughout the day is wonderful. And often it's less fatiguing than trying to cram in lots of intense movement at a time. Maybe come into the hips, rock side to side or front to back. Or you could do some seated cat-cows. You want to bring in the rest of the spine. Some big hip circles. There's so many choices, and it's totally fine if you have a go-to that you like to always choose, and it's also fine if you like the novelty and you want to do something totally different today than you did last time. And then if there's anything else, maybe you want to stretch the feet out in front of you or move the ankles around. Maybe it's a twist. Maybe your body's like, no, you know what? I feel good. I feel ready to be still. And then when you're ready, just find that nice, comfortable position. You can close your eyes if that feels good in your body today. You can also simply lower your gaze. And we'll go from moving to not moving, from active to a more passive showing up in our body. And that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Loads of things are happening all the time in our body, whether or not we're paying attention. But when we slow down, we can focus on some of those more subtle things. Find your breath. And find comfort in your breath. So if there's a bit of stress in your body, breathe into that and say, it's okay, we can relax now. And if there's discomfort in your body, move mindfully. And if that discomfort lingers, invite it to coexist and say, this is how we feel today. If at any point, body, you're ready to let go of that feeling, I'm here for it. And if not, that's okay. Because we will not feel our best every day, and we cannot expect to. So if we have a little bit of self-compassion for the days when we do have a bit of strain or a bit of discomfort or a symptom is occurring, we can just say, okay, that's how it is right now. And then I'll invite you to pull the breath down into the belly. And maybe slow down the inhales. And maybe elongate the exhales. If you have an intention that you would like to set for this practice, now is a great time to send it off into the universe. Maybe you say it a couple times. Your intention can be something you want more of in your life. It's nice to say our intentions in the present tense as if they are already showing up for us. I am patient. I am self-compassionate. I take time to care for myself and others. And then let it go. Let the universe conspire to help make it so. We don't have to hold these things very tight. We don't have to do all of the doing. Sometimes things can unfold for us if we actually take a step back and we allow rather than push. And that can be really tough, especially if you're used to doing a lot of pushing. I have a poem today called For When People Ask. And this might be super relevant today, or it might not be so relevant. You can keep it in your pocket for a time when something like this comes up. This is by Rosemerry Wahtola Trommer. For When People Ask. I want a word that means okay and not okay. More than that, a word that means devastated and stunned with joy. I want the word that says, I feel it all at once. The heart is not like a songbird singing only one note at a time. More like a Tuvan throat singer able to sing both a drone and simultaneously 2 or 3 harmonics high above it, a sound, the Tuvans say, that gives the impression of wind swirling among rocks. The heart understands swirl, how the churning of opposite feelings weaves through us like an insistent breeze. Leads us wordlessly deeper into ourselves, blesses us with paradox, so we might walk more openly into the world so rife with devastation, this world so ripe with joy. Come back to the breath. And this time we'll do some heart-centered breathing right into that heart space. Cultivating joy or another positive emotion. What does it feel like in your body? Can we be joyful despite, right? There are so many things. There are things happening immediately. There are things happening in the wider world. It is a radical act to consider joy and to cultivate joy and to actively pursue joy. Maybe you recall a joyful moment, a memory, a person who brings joy into your life. Maybe you turn the corners of your mouth up into a little smile as you remember that we don't have control of everything, but we do have control of our reaction to it. Can we be defiantly joyful in the face of all of the things that come our way? I invite you to join me in some box breathing. You can choose how long each part of the box is, and you can grow or shrink the box with how your body feels. I invite you to inhale and then hold the breath at the top for about the same amount of time. And exhale. And then hold the breath out for about the same amount of time. And again, some people like counting 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold the exhale, 2, 3, 4. Other people like to be more intuitive and just feel how that breath moves through the body, how the holds feel, how the exhale moves out. There's no one right or wrong way to do box breathing. Find what works for you, and if the holding of the breath is tough, hold it for less time. And if that's still tough, don't hold it at all and just focus on a nice even rhythm of inhaling and exhaling. Make it your own and make it sustainable. Make it something you can sit with for a few minutes and feel good about, rather than this itchy feeling of, oh, I wish it would change, or I wish we would do something else, or I don't like this in my body. Make it easy for yourself. Make it feel good. Bring some joy to it. And if you need to mindfully adjust the way you're sitting to make it more joyful, feel better in your body, mindfully move. No big deal. Inhaling, holding the breath, exhaling, and holding up. And if you want to add a little bit to this, as you inhale, feel yourself sinking into your chair, expanding, holding the breath. And as you exhale, see if you can engage the pelvic floor, pushing out all of the air, engaging the abdominals, and then holding. Inhale to expand. And exhale to rein it in. And if that doesn't feel good, let it go. And if you like that added layer, stick with it. We'll do a few more rounds like this. Breathing on all sides of the box. Holding at the top. Exhaling. And then holding at the bottom. Do one more like this in your own time. And then taking your time, there is truly no rush. Letting the breath slowly come back to whatever feels normal in your body, whatever feels easy, letting the breath breathe you, letting it come in and out through the nose where you can, letting the lungs fill and empty without forcing it, without being too prescriptive. It doesn't have to be a deep breath. It doesn't have to be a long breath. Just seeing if you can be the observer. You can take away that control and just watch as the body breathes in and the body breathes out. Most of our breaths during the day we aren't even conscious of because we're busy doing something else. And we just let the body get on with the job of taking in oxygen, of breathing out carbon dioxide, of oxygenating our blood. And then I'll invite you to get even more comfortable. So give yourself a little body scan and see if there's any place where you've become a little bit constricted or that stress has creeped in. And again, we're not going to force the body to relax. That's the opposite of a successful technique, right? We're just going to allow the body to relax. So if you find that there's some tension in the shoulders, give yourself permission to let the shoulders go. If you found that your teeth are touching and that you have some constriction in the jaw, allow the teeth to separate a little bit. Allow that stress to dissipate. If you found that your brow is furrowed, can you simply allow the wrinkles of the forehead to ease, the eyes to be heavy in their sockets? There is no expectation for how relaxed we will be. It is simply a matter of observing, of being present in the body, of coming out of the busy mind and finding a home in this body, today's body, right now's body. Making a little bit of peace and saying, it's okay. I have the time to relax. It's okay. I can hold two things at once. I'm going to come back to this poem for when people ask. Because I think for most of us, we often have two conflicting things that are both true at any given time in our mind and in our body. I want a word that means okay and not okay. More than that, a word that means devastated and stunned by joy. I want the word that says, I feel it all at once. The heart is not like a songbird singing only one note at a time. More like a Tuvan throat singer able to sing both a drone and simultaneously 2 or 3 harmonics high above it. A sound, the Tuvans say, that gives the impression of wind swirling among rocks. The heart understands swirl, how the churning of opposite feelings weaves through us like an insistent breeze, leads us wordlessly deeper into ourselves, blesses us with paradox so we might walk more openly into this world so rife with devastation, this world so ripe with joy. Take a big breath in to the belly, to the ribs, to the chest. Let it all out with a sigh. And we'll end with a bit of humming, which is so good for vagal nerve stimulation, for calming the nervous system. You can hum on any note, you can hum on the same note, you can change it around. We just inhale naturally and exhale with a hum. And when you run out of air, you simply restart inhaling again. Maybe you pick a different tune. And continuing on, feeling the vibration in the lips. Maybe you can feel the vibration in your head. Maybe you can pull that vibration down into the belly. It can be a loud or a quiet hum. It can be a high or a low hum. We'll do 3 more rounds like this. When you run out of breath, simply inhale and exhale with a hum through pursed lips. This is sometimes called Rosemerry breathing or the bumblebee breath. And it can enliven these vibrations that are truly all around us. Everything around us is always vibrating at a frequency. And aren't we lucky that we get to affect our own frequency? And we have this input that we can deliberately quiet our mind, that we can change the pace, the type of breathing. One more breath in and take your time. A hum on the exhale. Feeling it in the lips, in the head, perhaps in the chest or the belly. And then once again, when all of the air is out, letting yourself return to whatever breathing feels natural to you. In through the nose, out through the nose, where you can. And then if you set an intention at the beginning of our time together, maybe you call it back. You thank it for showing up for you today. Maybe you make a tiny, tiny little action, the one very smallest next step. And then when you're ready, in your own time, if your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes. Thanks for practicing with me today.